What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Oh no, this is bad. This is super bad for Shawn Porter right now. So, let me give you, man, some of the history before we crack on. What do we know? A few days ago now, 4 or 5 days ago, the WBO ordered Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter. Now, a few days after it was ordered, Terence Crawford came out and said, yep, I want it badly, but Shawn Porter's been forced to fight me. I'm not sure if he's really on it like that. That's what Crawford said. Now, many people, myself included, made a video reacting to Terence Crawford's comments, and we were saying, kind of on the fence, well, Shawn Porter is kind of smoky. He got in there with Spence, he got in there with Kell Brook, etc., etc., kind of giving Shawn Porter the benefit of the doubt. However, at that time, I did tell you, man, that the PBC are hella fruity. They too fruity. And I never put something past the BBC in as much as, how many years have we heard from Errol Spence? Oh, man, I've got to speak to Al Heyman. I'm my own boss, but, I need to speak to Al Heyman. We on different sides of the street. We've heard all that kind of fruitiness for years. And as much as I believed Shawn Porter was smoky, the PBC fruitiness and all that weird behaviour is there, it's present. Anyway, 2-2s, I'm minding my business. Bear in mind the timeline here. The WBO orders the fight 4 days ago. Yeah, Crawford responds within a day or two. My video's done a day or two ago. So it's kind of like, there's a nice little timeline here. And I'm glad to an extent that I waited. But the point is, it's been 4 or 5 days now since the WBO ordered it. It's been a day or two since my video was done. And the reason that's relevant is that in the video I said, well, we haven't heard from Shawn Porter. He's active on Twitter, if that makes sense. He'd been posting things since the announcement, but not about the actual announcement, if that makes sense. However, despite this fact, where essentially Shawn Porter's been silent on the event, but been talking about other things, I gave him the benefit of the doubt and said, well, I'm sure he'll get to it within a week or so. Now, unfortunately, this video right now has had to be created because new information has come to light regarding Shawn Porter. Me and many others gave Shawn Porter the benefit of the doubt that, well, he's maybe busy or whatever else. There may be some other reason other than him not really wanting to smoke as to why he hasn't replied, if that makes sense. Because traditionally, really, if you want to fight, Terence Crawford's been ordered, he's speaking about it, he wants it. You've been ordered, Porter, and Porter silent, ain't said nothing. That's kind of suspect. But me and many others, knowing how Shawn is, or believing how we think Shawn is, gave him the benefit of the doubt. Again, that brings us to today's video, because new information has come to light. What you man have seen on your screen is a leaked, deleted tweet that Shawn Showtime Porter put out within the first 24 hours of the initial announcement. So 4 or 5 days ago, when the initial announcement came out, within 24 hours, Shawn Showtime Porter put this message out. He said, "Not something I was expecting, but I always stay ready to give the fans what they want. Clock starts now. The best fighting the best, the Porter way. Crawford Porter." Again, to be fair to Porter, guess what? This tweet, if it was still up today, would be okay. I mean, it's a bit suspect in as much as he says, not something I was expecting. So, fuck it. What do you mean he wasn't expecting it? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean he wasn't expecting it? Are you trying to get it in or not? Innit? That for me was a bit suspect. I wasn't really expecting it. What? Are you trying to get in the panties or not? Think about it. Because in my opinion, fighters should think of other high level fighters like civilians think of women. So we're civilians. How do we think of women? If I was ordered, or essentially if a woman stick it on me and said, listen, YB, Saturday night you're coming round to give me the bits, yeah, to give me the longa wonga. If a woman told me, YB, I'm ordering you to come get this coochie on Saturday, my response wouldn't be, or if I was on it, my response wouldn't be, oh man, it wasn't really something I was expecting. Do you see what I'm trying to say now? That's a lot of you dons don't really get it, but I'm glad that I've used this analogy, because this really is the scary fighter analogy. Us civilian dons, how we look at coochie is how these fighters look at fighting. When they're on it, yeah, there ain't nothing, oh man, this wasn't really something I was expecting. They ain't saying that. When Shawn Porter's ordered to fight some bum for some mandatory title, he there. He all there. You know what I'm saying? He all there for it. There's been a few fights recently. Can't remember their names because I don't follow random dons, but there's been a few random don mandatory shots and whatnot. There's been a few weird, goofy fights Shawn Porter's been involved in, and he was there for it. He was all the way there for it. There was nothing, not something I was expecting about it. He was on it. Yeah? Just like the YB when you know what I'm saying? Just like when the YB's ordered to come hit some coochie. He there. There's nothing unexpected about it. Do you want it or don't you want it? Shawn Porter, oh man, it's not really something I want. Not really something I was expecting. That's suspect. I'm sorry, it's super sus. And then he says, but then the rest of the tweet, he says, but I always stay ready to give the fans what they want. Again, not a great look. In as much as, but I always stay ready to give the fans what they want. What do you mean give the fans what they want? Don't you want it? Do you understand? Again, let's apply this analogy here. So a chick messages the YB saying, yo, I need you badly to come get this coochie on Saturday. And I reply saying, oh man, I wasn't really expecting to come hit that coochie on Saturday. But if y'all peoples really want to hear it, then you know what I'm saying. If y'all peoples really want to hit, if y'all peoples really want to see me hit it, then what? What do you mean? You're getting the coochie. What do you mean if other people are happy? If the fans want to see me get the coochie, well, I'm gonna be tearing it up. But I don't care about no fans or no spectators. I'm getting in. I'm getting in the panties. Simple as that. No fans or no expecting. I'm getting in. Simple as that. I don't care what no one says. That's how fighters should act. Well, that's how fighters not how they should. That is how fighters act when they fixing to get it. They act like a civilian acts when it comes to coochie. There ain't no uncertainty. There ain't no worry about the fans. They look at get it. Because what do we know? There's been a lot worse fights that fans weren't looking for, innit? Think about this for a second. How many fights has Shawn Porter been in that fans weren't really that interested in? But guess what? He did it anyway, because he didn't care about the fans. Now all of a sudden, you're worried about what the fans want to see. Suspect. So this statement, all in all, is sus. Super sus. And to add insult to injury, not only did he put a super sus statement out, he then deletes it. Which is even worse. Why? Because as moist and as uncertain as this tweet was, at least it was some acknowledgement, if that makes sense. It's some evidence that, yeah, he's not bang on it. He's not YB hitting the coochie on it, but he's acknowledged it and it's kind of in his timeline. And he has said, clock starts now. Which is almost like accepting, yeah, the fight's on. That post is gone. And as uncertain as it was, combined with the fact he deleted it, is super sus. Meaning, it's not looking good for this fight happening. And all the credit I gave Shawn Porter when this leaked, deleted tweet came out, I lost a lot of the respect, a lot of the natural whatever I gave Showtime Shawn Porter is gone now. I can't. I'll be fronting. If I told you that, yeah, I'm backing Shawn and he on it and he a dog, and well, I'll be lying to you. This for me was a typical PBC political move. El Political. Yeah, that's what this was. There's no other way to put it. What he said was political. And this deleting it is political. It's almost like he tried to get... Unfortunately, you can't get away from the YB. The YB will catch every man lacking. he thought he was smart. He thought, oops, I'll get rid of it. And then, and the thing is as well, the way he's been tweeting, he's been active. He's been doing the most on Twitter. So it's kind of like, you active on social media, but you deleted the message. What's going on here? It's almost like he's done it on purpose, so he's got plausible deniability. So he's able to say, oh man, I didn't even know the double. Like, what's that about? You've been ordered. You've then reacted to it. Now you've deleted the reaction and not said anything since. This is sus. Now, as always, it'll all come out in the wash one way or another. But from my point of view, from my speculation point of view, does this make the fight more likely or less likely? Obviously, it's not making it more likely, is it? Because if he was on this fight, then he'd just leave the tweet up, wouldn't he? At the worst. Or, fair enough, maybe he analysed it like I analysed it and he thought, you know what, this doesn't sound too good, let me put out another statement. He didn't do that. It's been 4 days left and I've given it a bit of time. Well, as it's happened, a little time's played out now. He's had a little time for this to play out. And still said nothing. And still carried on his Twitter, putting videos out on his YouTube page. Oops. It's super sus, is what it is. He don't want it. I hate to break it to you, man. He don't want it. Yeah? I had people telling me, YB, what are you talking about? Shawn Porter, he wants it. He don't sound like it. And guess what? He deleting tweets about it. The minute I see fighters doing weird, goofy deleting tweets, you just know there's something more going on here. Because, as I've said, fighting isn't that hard. Fighting is like civilians getting coochie. When you want it, you want it. You getting it. When you want to get in the panties, when you want to get in the ring, you get in the ring. These dons don't have no problem getting in there with some next bum. They love it. They're all for it. They're like the YB tearing the coochie up. They're there for it. They're there for all of it. So don't give me that about, oh no, it's different. How many times have you deleted messages when you're about to get... You just don't want that. How many times have you been deleting... Yeah, you're just getting it. Yeah? When you want it, you get it. He don't want it. And that's why they start acting all clandestine. They start deleting messages, trying to be smart about things. Oh no, it didn't happen, and oh I didn't know that was the case. It feels to me as if Shawn Porter's acting like he's trying to act as if he hasn't heard nothing about it. Because the way he deleted the message he put out was deleted within about an hour, I think. So it was super quick. It was like someone from his team said, quickly get rid of that. We're not doing this fight. Get rid of it. Get rid of the acknowledgement before we get caught contradicting ourselves. Because if that message had stayed up, and he does, think about it like it's the best way of looking at it. There's two ways this thing could play out. If Shawn wants to fight or Shawn doesn't want to fight. So think of it like this: if Shawn wants to fight, what would be the negative? Why would you delete the tweet? If you genuinely want to fight, what's wrong with that tweet? Nothing. You've said clock starts now. If you want to fight, that tweet wouldn't go nowhere. Maybe at the worst, you'd put another tweet out, doubling down kind of thing, if you wanted to fight. Conversely, how does it work if you don't want to fight? Well, if you don't want to fight, you can't have a statement out there which says clock starts now and has you essentially kind of signing up to the fight. You can't have that. So the only way this behaviour makes sense from a psychological or a behavioural analysis point of view is that he put the tweet out somewhere or another with his team or with himself. He decided this fight ain't it and deleted the tweet because it would be contradictory. If in the future, a week or two from now, he comes out and doesn't want this fight and has moved on, he can't have a tweet out there, can he, saying, oh, clock starts now, I'm down for this fight, the fans want it. You can be looking super stupid. So unfortunately, the YB, thankfully, has used his PhD in behavioural analysis, and it's pointing to the fact that he don't want this fight. Simple as that. It's a shame. Will I be wrong? Unlikely. The YB don't miss. If Shawn Porter wants this fight, fair play. It'll be the first time the YB's been wrong. But you don't go deleting tweets, acknowledging a fight if you want it, or if it's likely to happen. This doesn't exist in the sport of boxing. Because even if you want... Think about it, yeah? Even if you want the fight, but it doesn't end up getting made, you'd still leave the tweet out. If there's some managerial problem, I've had some goofy Showtime fans saying, "Oh, but YB, maybe there's a management thing." Well, a management problem wouldn't arise in the first hour, would it? Or a negotiation problem wouldn't arise within an hour. That'd take a few days to play out. And even so, guess what? If you really wanted to fight and a negotiation fell through, you'd leave the tweet up and then put another tweet out saying, "You know what, guys, negotiations fell through. I was rock hard for this fight, but whatever." He hasn't done that. He deleted the tweet and hasn't said nothing since. Like I said, that's what you call trying to put time and distance between him and the news event. News peaks and it fades. He's Shawn Porter right now. He in the fade. He trying to put as much distance and time between him and that event as possible. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. He don't want it. This fight ain't happening. The message wasn't even that smoky anyway, which you know what I'm saying. The message was even suspect anyway. So the fact a suspect message, which then goes on to be deleted, is game, set, and match. The fight ain't happening, people. Simple as that. However, the good news is, you might know my opinion. Josh Taylor 140, Terence Crawford 140, or they're both at top rank. We know top rank love in-house fights. That's the one for me. Lomachenko, in fact, they could maybe do it on the same card. Probably not, but Josh Taylor and Terence Crawford and Lomachenko versus Lopez. That would be a crazy hardcore. That would probably be the best hardcore boxing card in history. Certainly in the last 20-30 years. That would be. Crawford and, in fact, yeah, and their close divisions. Maybe the winner fights the winner. Well, it would be if it is Lopez. The winner fights the winner. If Lopez beats Lomachenko, he would be potentially, that'd set up a bit of a narrative, wouldn't it? 135, All-Star Undisputed versus 140, All-Star Undisputed. Super fight. 2 super fights. The 135 super fight and the 140 super fight. And then they fight. That'd be crazy. That'd be a madness. So I'm not completely mad, or I'm not mad assuming the Josh Taylor fight happens. That's what needs to happen now. Because, Terence, you're not fighting no one good anyway. So you might as well go back down to 140 and handle business there. It's only £7. You're skinny anyway. That's what the fans want. That's what the JT wants.